Okay, this time let's tackle now the practice set one for the vector quantities. Again, we are in the physics discussion, and our review is on the basic mathematical part, the basic mathematical techniques in physics, and again, vector quantities. Now, let's try to answer practice set one. Which of these is not a vector quantity? Now, you just need to take note, weight, it is a vector quantity. Force is also a vector quantity. In fact, weight is a force. Although you are not familiar with the electric field right now, but electric field is a vector quantity. It needs direction. But if you're going to look here for moles is the amount of substance, and it is a scalar quantity. And so you don't need direction for moles. The answer here is letter C. Now, how about number two? A woman jogs in an oval track which is 400-meter long. For 20 minutes, she finished twice the track returning to her starting point. What is the woman's average velocity? Now, if you're gonna imagine the woman's running, so say for example here, the woman will gonna run. One oval track is 400-meter, twice is 800-meter, right? So that would be 400-meter plus 400-meter, and the distance is 800-meter. But look, we are asked for velocity, and from the starting point, you just go back to the starting point, right? And so the average velocity is displacement per time. Remember, velocity is displacement over time. And so the displacement is 0 over 20 minutes. So the answer here is 0 minutes per minute, 0 meters per minute, because you just go back to the starting point. If for example, you ask for the average speed, the answer will be 800 divided by 800, that would be divided by 20, that would be 40 meters per minute. That would be 40 meters per minute. Okay, so our best answer here for number two is letter A, because we are asked for the average velocity. Now, how about this number three? A toy car travels 50-meter heading east, and then 50-meter heading east, 30-meter heading west, and 10-meter heading east again. So it takes 30 seconds for the whole trip. Which of these statement is correct? Now, if you're gonna look for the distance traveled, that is simply 50 plus 30, 50 plus 30 plus 10, that would be 90 meters, right? So letter A is wrong, okay, because the total distance is 90 meters. Displacement of the toy car is 90 meters from the starting point. No, the displacement is simply 50 minus 30, that was 20, plus negative 50. So no, right? 50 minus 30, that would be 20, plus 10, that would be 30 meters. And so the displacement is not 90 meters, but rather 30 meters, right? So this one is wrong. The average speed of the toy car is 3 meters per second. Now, let's try to look on this. 90 meters. 90 meters is the distance divided by 30 seconds. So that would be 3 meters per second, right? So we're going to have 3 meters per second as the average speed. So letter C is the answer. So this one is correct. Now, how about letter D? Average velocity of the toy car is 30 meter per second heading west. I think this one is wrong, simply because for the velocity, that would be 30, right? Positive 30 meters divided by 30 seconds. And so that would be positive 1 meters per second. And that is heading towards east because of the positive. So this one is wrong. Okay? So next, how about number 4? A car, a car travels south, 3 kilometers south, 12 kilometers west, and another 2 kilometers south. The overall trip is 0.5 hours. Which of this statement is false? Okay, let's try to look here. A car traveled 3 kilometers south, 12 kilometers west, so 3 plus 12, So for the distance, that is 3 plus 12, 15 plus 2, 17. We don't care about the direction, okay? So this one is checked. The car's displacement is 13 kilometers. So from here, let's look at the displacement of the car. We have the summation of the y, okay? And then we also have the summation of x. Okay, what is the summation of all the y's here? The summation of all the y, we have 3 kilometers south, okay? And then 2 kilometers south, right? And so this one is 5 kilometer south. And what is the summation of x? The summation of x would be 12 kilometer west, okay? So if you're gonna imagine how the car traveled, okay, let's try to draw first how the car traveled. The car, if this one is the starting point, the car perhaps traveled at 3 kilometers south, and then it will gonna head 12 kilometers west, and then another 2 kilometers south. Okay, so this one is the 2 kilometers. Say for example, this one is 2 kilometers. So just a bit of graph here. And so the displacement will gonna be like this. Now, if you're gonna look for the summation of all the y here, the y would be like this, right? And all the summation of x, so that one would be 5. And then the summation of all the x would be 12. So this one still like this is the same, right? So this one, the summation of the y is 5, and then the summation of x is 12. And what's now this value, right? We're gonna form a right triangle. So this value, it's 13. It's a Pythagorean triple. But if you're gonna still solve for that, the value for this one is simply 5 square plus 12 square. And that is the value of this displacement. The square root, and then 25 plus 144. This one is 25 plus 144, and that would be square root of 169. And the displacement now here is 13. Okay? And so the car's displacement is 13 kilometers. So still it is checked, right? So how about the car's average speed? Car's average speed is 17 divided by 2. That would be 17 divided by 0.5, right? 17 divided by 0.5, or 17 divided by 1/2. That's 34 kilometer per hour. And so this one is wrong. Why this one is wrong? So the answer is letter D, right? The answer is letter D here, simply because that is instead that would be 13 divided by 0.5 is 26 kilometer per hour. Okay, so the answer here is 26 kilometer per hour, not 34 kilometer per hour. Okay, and for the number 5, a fly headed 5 meters north, then turns 2 meters east, then turns 2 meters south. Okay, so let's try to look here. What is the summation of all the x here? We have the 2 meters east. Now, how about the summation of all the y here? We have positive 5 meters north, right? Positive 5 meters north, right? And then we also have the 2 meters south. So plus the negative 2 meters, because since that is south. And so we're going to have 5 minus 2. That will be overall 3 meters, right? So next, so we have 2 and 3. So if we're going to do the Pythagorean principle here, 2 and 3. So we're going to have 4 plus, so we have here, wait, there's another given here, sorry. Then 1 meter turns to west, okay? So 2 meter and then minus 1 meter Why? Simply because it is west, right? So overall, this is 1 meter. Okay? And so we're gonna use the Pythagorean theorem here. We're gonna have one square plus 3 square, and that would be 1 plus 9, and that would be the square root of 10. Okay? So this is the possible answer, this or this. But what is the formula for the direction? That would be the arctan of the summation of y over the summation of x. So our summation of y here, we have 3 over 1, right? So the arctan would be 3 over 1. So the best answer here is that this around, if you press a calculator, this around 70 plus degrees. Okay? And so the answer here for number 5 is, okay? And that ends now for the vectors question. Now you might be wondering, what are the most questions asked if it is like a vector? Most of the question asked is very simple. It could be what would be the vector quantity, or it could be like the number 2, or the problems that I gave, which is like east and west. And then sometimes the direction is not being asked already. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much for listening.